Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into an idea that sounds, well, completely backwards. We're talking about tackling corruption, one of the most stubborn problems in the world, with a solution that seems totally nuts. What if the best way to fight bribery was to make half of it legal? Okay, so let's get right into it. To really get why this solution is so out there, we first have to talk about just how damaging corruption really is. This isn't some victimless crime we're talking about. It's a problem that can bring entire nations, like Sri Lanka, for example, to their knees. You know, it's easy to think of corruption as just a few bad apples, but it's way more than that. The source material calls it a corrosive force for a reason. I mean, it poisons everything. It slows down the economy. It makes people completely lose faith in their government and police. And it just wrecks the whole idea of a level playing field. It really does seep into every part of life. And here it is, the moment you're probably thinking, wait, did I hear that right? Yep. Legalize bribery to stop bribery. It sounds like fighting fire with gasoline, I know, but there's a fascinating logic behind this. Kind of like a strategic judo move that uses the system's own weight against itself. And that's exactly what we're going to break down.
All right, so how on earth would this actually work? Well, the whole strategy is about one simple thing: flipping the script. It takes the normal power dynamic in a bribe, where the official has all the control, and turns it completely upside down.
So here is the absolute heart of the idea. Let's be super clear. This is not about making bribery okay. Not at all. The person accepting the bribe, still a criminal, big time. But the person giving the bribe, the citizen who's being extorted, they get a pass under very specific conditions. Just think about it for a second. In a normal bribe, the official holds all the cards. They demand the money, and you feel like you have to pay. This idea is designed to target that imbalance of power, and only that. And here's where it gets really clever. Right now, if you're forced to pay a bribe, you've also committed a crime. So why would you ever snitch on the official who took your money if it means you could go to jail right alongside them? You wouldn't. This proposal gets rid of that fear. It changes the bribe giver from a silent victim into a legally protected secret agent, ready to expose the rot in the system. Okay, so let's get practical. What would this actually look like in the real world? It's not the Wild West of bribery where you could just hand out cash to anyone. No, there's a very clear step-by-step process that's designed to make sure this is used for justice, not for chaos. Let's walk through it. So first, in step 1, you've got to have the actual laws in place to protect the citizen. Then, step 2, and this is so important, you have to document everything. We're talking secret recordings, marked bills, whatever it takes to have undeniable proof. Now, step 3 is the really clever part. You wait until after you get the service you paid the bribe for. Why? Because that proves the official took the money and followed through, making it an open and shut case. Then, of course, you get justice in steps 4 and 5. The official gets prosecuted and you get your money back. And my favorite, step 6, hero status. Instead of being shamed, you're celebrated for doing the right thing. That's how you change a culture. Now, obviously, an idea this wild isn't all sunshine and roses. There are some massive potential wins here, for sure. But there are also some really, really scary downsides that we have to talk about. So let's weigh the payoffs against the pitfalls. And again, this is the whole game, right here. It's about empowering people. You're not just a victim of extortion anymore. You're a warrior fighting back. Okay, let's look at the two sides of this coin. On the plus side, you can see how this could be a total game changer. You'd almost certainly see way more bribery cases get reported, and officials would suddenly be terrified to ask for a bribe. They'd have to wonder, is this person paying me or are they recording me? That's a powerful deterrent, but the concerns are just as big. What's to stop someone from using this law to frame an official they just don't like? That's a huge risk. And then there's something called a moral hazard, which basically means you might accidentally encourage bad behavior. People might start trying to entrap officials just because they know they can't get in trouble for it. That's why you would need incredibly strict rules and oversight to make sure this whole thing doesn't get abused. So where does that leave us? We've seen how it could work, the amazing things it could achieve, and the ways it could go horribly, horribly wrong. Is this really a path forward for countries that are just drowning in corruption? And you know, this quote from the analysis really says it all. This isn't just about locking up a few more corrupt officials. The real hope here is to change the entire culture. It's about creating a world where transparency and accountability aren't just buzzwords on a government website, but are actually enforced by everyday people. And that's the big question we're left with, isn't it? Is this a brilliant, clever hack that uses the system's own rules against it?
Or is it a Pandora's box of false accusations and murky ethics that's just too dangerous to even think about opening? The answer probably depends on how well you can build those safeguards we talked about, and whether a country is brave enough to try something so radical. It's a huge gamble for sure. But for a system that's already broken, maybe a huge gamble is exactly what's needed.